Welcome to Hena's epic Armageddon battle report. This is a 3000 point game between feral orcs and Death Korps of Krieg. The lists are NetEA lists and there will be a link in the description below. First, let's look at the feral orcs. So this is a feral orcs that is designed to maximize squeak cuts. So we have 3 normal warbands with 3 squeak cuts each. And one of them has an extra boy grot to make it BTS. Then we have 2 warbands with 3 squeak catapults. Then we have 2 warbands of boar boys, one of them is huge, one of big. Then we have big Chungatruk with 2 knobs. And then we have a pair of steam gargants. And that's the army. Then Death Korps of Krieg. And here we go. So there is 3 Macariuses, then 3 groups of Grenadiers, each with Gorgon. Then we have 1 flak battery with 2 Hydra and 1 heavy AA. And then we have a Earthshakers. Then we have an infantry company with Gorgons and regimental HQ without Gorgons, and then 1 Death Riders. And finally 2 pairs of Thunderbolts. And that's the Death Korps. So deployment. So feral orcs garrison first and catapult 1 is deployed from the Blitz. The regimental HQ is then garrisoned from the Death Korps. And then feral orcs garrison the 2nd catapult warband. So the first one had the warlord in it, the second one they didn't. Then normal deployment. Squeak Cuts 2 goes first, and the flak goes on the opposite side. Basically they sight down the road if anything wants to come through it. Then second band of Squeak Cuts go, or third band of Squeak Cuts. The Squeak Cuts 1 would have the warlord, that's the BTS target. So then the artillery went there, and the Macariuses are also in the center. And huge boar boys go next. And Death Riders in the center as well. And from ferals, then the big boar boys goes center behind the Squeak Cuts. Then Grenadier 1, which takes 1 flank, and on the opposite flank goes the Chungatruk warband. And the second set of Grenadier 3, the second set deployed, goes in the center. Steam Gargants take position on the road, and then the infantry company takes 1 road as well. And finally the Grenadiers 2 go in there as well. And that's what it looks like. Krieg is deployed more concentrated in the middle, while ferals are more spread out. I still have some feral orcs to paint. And there is the Greek lines. Grenadiers, infantry company, Macariuses. And finally the regimental HQ. Then on to turn 1, and feral orcs start with catapult sustaining fire using Supreme Commander reroll, and they target the flak and clip also the Gorgons. So 2 flags die and the Gorgons get a blast mark. Then Thunderbolt 1 stands down Then Catapult 1 holds, tries to sustain fire. Thunderbolt 2 also stands down. And finally, Squeakot's double, which is automatic, so they can't fail. And they take up positions in the center. Firing at the Regimental HQ and doing only one blast marker. Then the Earthshakers sustain fire, destroying 2 trucks with boys inside. The big boars then in the center double. Just preparing for next turn maybe. Then the infantry company doubles as well. And they don't jump out yet. But they do fire at the boar boys, killing a couple of them. Then the Junker Brigade, which doubles. Now, I didn't want to try March with Orks as they are not very good at it, so double allows me to move forwards even though there isn't really any targets that I could shoot. But I don't have to roll the initiative, so. Then the Grenadier 2, which hold and move. And Steam Gargants, which double. So I originally tried to get into range of the infantry company, but that the infantry company in Gorgons, but that didn't work out. So I then decided to shoot at the Regimental HQ, just to get something done. Few units died. The Macarissus failed to activate and just gave blast marker to Steam Gargants. And then the Squeakots double ahead. And they just drop some Orks out and shoot at the infantry company in Gorgons. And also managed to do damage. Yay. And Grenadier 1 doubles forwards. And then they jump out and bring their flamers to bear. So a couple of Orks are killed, and 1 Grot as well. Then the Squeakot 1, which doubles. And now I'm bringing it into range of the infantry company, and I drop a couple of units because I'm slightly worried that someone kills the first of the 3 Squeakots. Then from Greek, the Death Riders march, moving on the other flank with expectation of engaging something. Then the huge boars, they double as well, so kind of similar as to what the Krieg Death Riders do, just getting to prepare for next turn. The Regimental HQ then marshals and removes blast markers and moves back a little. Aim is to not be too close to the Steam Gargants. And then Grenadier 2, which doubles, taking up positions in the ruins. Well, they kind of can't fit there, so decide to jump out in front of the ruins. And then they flame the Orks. So that hurts. 1 more unit dies. And that's what it looks like at the end of the turn. The buildings are hotly contested by both sides, while Junker Brigade is advancing over the empty flank towards the Regimental HQ, which is in the forest. So there we have catapults and Junker Brigade and Steam Gargants sweeping towards the Regimental HQ and the center. And the Greek are in full in the center, while multiple formations of Orks are moving there. as well as the catapult which is defending the area. So, then on to turn 2, and Feral Orks start. And Squeak got 1 double. In here I'm doing a one mistake that I realized after the game. That the Squeak got formation is good at assault, but it's not that good at fire support. So there isn't that many 5s in the firefight dice of them. Well, they fire anyway on the open terrain and kill 1. And then the huge boars engage. Now the 2 Greek grenadiers are intermingled, so I just engage both of them with the idea that I'll take their their firefight dice away by getting into close combat, and that my Squeak Gods would be there to support. However, I miss most of the dices, and the Squeak Gods really don't do that much fire support, so I lose the combat and fall back. A couple of grenadiers die though, so it wasn't complete loss, but it didn't go well either. Then the infantry company, and they engage the Squeak God band, which is more damaged, and they jump out. So the aim there is to try to make sure that the Squeak Gods 2 would also get the blast marker, so 1 unit can do a fire support. And try to keep the Gorgons in front. Now Orks countercharge a little in case there is a second round, so then we can get to close combat, but no. They are wiped out, managing to do 1 more damage to the Gorgon, and then they consolidate, and the second group consolidates into the Gorgon. Then Thunderbolt 1, which makes ground attack, and they kill 2 Orks in the open, and manage to do a couple of blast markers. And then the Catapult 1, which sustain fires, using Supreme Command reroll, and it manages to damage the Gorgon and break one of the Grenadier groups. Then the Earthshakers, and they sustain fire, and they target the boars in the middle, and kill few units. Don't break them though. Then the Steam Gargants, which double. Now in here, one of the Gorgons has the 10 units inside, so I'm trying to kill it with the Macro Barrage, but I don't manage to do that. I don't hit it. I do hit the infantry and kill a bunch of them. Then the Thunderbolts do ground attack, killing again a couple of the Chunga trucks. And Squeak Gods 2 in the middle. They double ahead. So now I'm trying to prepare to see if I can go towards the Blitz, but they shoot a little at the infantry and do only 1 blast marker. Then the Grenadiers, which continue advancing, and they flame the Boar Boys and break them, so they flee behind the building. Then the Junker Brigade, which doubles. Now, sorry for the zoom in quality. So they double towards the infantry and shoot in there, killing several units. Then the Macariuses, and they advance, going on to the hill and preparing to fire at the Squeak Gods. And they manage to kill a couple of units and 1 Squeak God. Then the Catapult 2, which doubles. So they have 3 blast markers, so they can't shoot the catapults if they stay in place. So they move forwards, leaving 3 Orks behind, and then shoot the catapults, direct fire. And Flag 2 goes into Overwatch, Regimental HQ Marshals. And they fired at one of the Grenadiers, but didn't manage to do much. So they marshal and move into formation to with expectation of Jungle trucks. And then the final Grenadier, which advances, jumps out and fires at the Squeak Gods, and then Death Riders, which engage. Now in here my fighting is starting to crumble as I countercharge into close combat, but manage to miss every shot and attack. So all but one Squeakot die. Then the huge boars fail to rally, so they move in the center to prevent the grenadiers from moving towards splits, and the Squeakot one which also fails to rally. So it moves into the backline in hopes of surviving somehow the next turn. And that's what it looks like. So basically the Krieg has now broken the center of the ferals, while the left flank is pushing forwards. And it's not looking good for the ferals. Now I'm thinking that okay, I probably should be able to hang on over the turn 3, so it's not too bad yet, depending on how my flank will do and how the steam gargants will do in the center. So I still have some ideas of what to do here. It looks bad, but it's not maybe the worst situation. So steam gargants first, they sustain fire. Now I'm missing the video of the damage, but it killed a couple of units. And then the catapult 2 holds and fires anyway, and breaks the first grenadier group. So I killed a couple of units with steam gargants from the infantry, but it didn't kill the one gorgon. So then the artillery fires at the Junker Brigade, and the Junker Brigade decides to go for Hail Mary and engages the infantry company. So they have enough range to charge around, and since they are mostly inside, I will get almost all the units that I need into close combat. The video, there we go. And I managed to win it. Something goes right in this. So they break and fall back, while I generate a lot of plus markers, but I don't quite break and move in there. Then the infantry company which engages, so they swing around the building and then jump out, targeting the final Squeakots. Now I didn't have the counter charge again in the video, I had problems with the camera, and I lose everything without managing to do any damage. So at this point it's pretty clear that the ferals are taking hammering. So then the catapult 1 with sustain fires, managing to kill a couple of units but not breaking the grenadiers. And then Thunderbolts 1 which makes the coup de grace, so they go and kill the Squeakots, which gives BTS. And then the big boars fail to activate, Thunderbolts 2 ground attack, and they manage to break the troop band, which means that there is now defend the flag and BTS, and we call the game at that point, because it's pretty clear I can't do anything anymore. Might be a 3-0 win there, but we decided that this is fine. So that's what it looks like. Lots of broken orcs defending. The catapults are still kind of alive, but they are in a bad shape, and I can push through the enemy. And that's it. So 2-0 for Greek. I hope you liked the game, and the music was by Kevin MacLeod, and that's the software I'm using. Thanks for watching. Bye.